Todd in Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome to the program, sir. Hello.
Hello, Rush. How are you?
Just fine. Thanks much.
I'm sorry for your loss of Kit.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Well, I've been listening since 1989. I was a charter subscriber to the Limbaugh Letter, and hopefully I can make the host look good.
Well, that's you have been here a long time, if you remember that.
Well, I wanted to point out the never-ending hypocrisy of the left, and going back to the president's PSA about domestic violence. All the people that were in the audience at the Grammys, they're all buzzing about this 50 Shades of Grey movie that's coming out. And it's about a rich guy who seduces a young woman and subjects her to his sadomasochistic, twisted, whatever you want to call it. And they think that's great entertainment.
Well, they can't
complain about domestic violence while they glorify these movies.
Interesting point. So you think it's a little hypocritical?
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But see, the difference is they don't do it. That's why the PSA was aimed at the audience and not at the attendees at the Grammys. Same thing with the NFL. Back in just a second. Speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, Wendy, are you looking forward to that movie? 50 Shades? You're not? Holy smokes, I'm stunned. Well, 50 Shades of Grey, I read where there is a total of 20 minutes of sex in the movie. Sex scenes total 20 minutes. And I got to thinking, I had to ask myself, is that a lot? I guess the movie's the requisite 2 hours. Is that a lot, or is it? So I got to thinking, sex scenes in movies, sometimes less than a minute goes by. That probably is a lot. But the guy's got an interesting point with hypocrisy. I mean, here's Obama talking to a bunch of people whose lyrics, this was the Grammys. And here's Obama's PSA running to an audience of a bunch of people whose lyrics glorify cop killing, glorify insulting women as bitches and hoes and this kind of thing, and glorify misogynistic treatment of women. And Obama's PSA is aimed at the viewers. I don't think anybody at the Grammys thought he was talking to them. He couldn't be. They're in bed with Barack. I mean, they're on the same team as Barack. So he's talking to everybody in the viewing audience, not people who were in the Staples Center actually watching this thing. Now, folks, 50 Shades of Grey, I started to read it. I'll be openly upfront and honest. I started to read it, and I gave it up after a while. When I saw how big it is, and that there were two others, I said, I am never going to finish this first one, much less the other two. And I had read enough to get the idea to where if the subject came up, I could say, yeah, I read it, and have some informed comment about it. If you want the actor that's playing, what's his name, Gray, forget the first name, the actor playing the guy in this movie, the billionaire from Seattle, his name Jamie Dornan. If you want to see this guy in a really good crime show, it's called The Fall. It stars Gillian Anderson of X-Files fame, and it's from the UK. There are 2 seasons. They just finished the second season. The first season's up on iTunes. Netflix has both seasons. 5 episodes for the first season, 6 episodes in the second season. I don't think the second season's up yet. Maybe on Netflix it is. But it is about a serial killer of women in, I think, Northern Ireland. And Dornan is the serial killer. Same guy playing the male lead in the 50 Shades of Grey. And it's captivating. It's slow at times. It's plodding. It's deliberate, but it's dramatic as it can be. And it's real. I get an episode a week, obviously, when it was broadcast live. I have my ways of getting these shows from the UK. So I have seen both seasons. And it's really good. He plays the exact opposite, I guess the exact opposite kind of character in The Fall as he does in 50 Shades of Grey. But it's a well-done cop show with all kinds of different characters. It'll rope you in. What can I tell you about 50 Shades of Grey? What? It's about, the porno for women. I don't know if I can describe it that way, but women were the primary audience for this. It was fantasy world. It was fantasy island because this guy just zeroed in on this woman and made her feel like the most important woman ever in the world, and roped her in and totally had his way with her in ways that people would describe it as abuse that she had loved. And went back and forth, love, hate, this kind of thing. I didn't finish the thing because I didn't need to finish it to get what it was about. I'm not putting it down. Don't misunderstand. I'm not criticizing it. I just need to. It's a huge book. And then I saw there were 2 others. And I said, well, I know I'm not going to read those. So, but I have no desire to see the movie, if that's where you're going. Having read the book, I have no desire to see the movie. Well, I'm just telling you, the guy that plays it is going to become a big star. And if you want to find other work he's done, find that series called The Fall. As I say, first season's up. I know it's up on iTunes, and I think both seasons are on Netflix now.